let's kick off this explainer and completely transform the kind of daunting task of decluttering into something you can actually tackle and, dare I say, enjoy. Listen, if you're looking around your home right now and feeling completely overwhelmed by the sheer volume of stuff, trust me, you are not alone. But here's the good news. Getting organized doesn't have to mean tearing your entire house apart in a single exhausting weekend. Today, we're taking a deep dive into expert-backed strategies that are going to help you systematically reclaim your space step by step. Here is our roadmap for today. We're covering 1. The weight of clutter. 2. Pacing your decluttering journey. 3. The ruthless 50% rule. 4. Mastering microspaces, drawers. And finally, 5. Keys to long-term success. Let's jump right in.
Section 1. The weight of clutter. The psychological burden of our belongings.
I want you to really ask yourself, why do we keep holding on to these someday items? You know the ones, someday that, let's be honest, rarely ever comes, and it just creates all this unnecessary anxiety. We absolutely all have them. It's the fabric for a quilt you plan to sew someday, that wobbly chair you're going to fix someday, or those posters just sitting there waiting to be framed. We hold on to this stuff because of guilt, or maybe a fear of letting go of a past identity. But frankly, if you don't have a rock-solid game plan to take action on that project in the next week, holding on to it is literally just weighing you down. Letting it go clears up physical space and, way more importantly, your mental bandwidth.
Professional organizer Ben Soref really hits the nail on the head here. Letting go of items we no longer use absolutely gives us freedom and lowers our daily stress. Think about it. When your surroundings are cluttered, it visually signals to your brain that your work is never done. It's exhausting. By removing the things that just don't serve you anymore, you aren't just making room in a closet. You are quite literally taking back control of your environment and building a real sense of peace. Moving on to Section 2. Pacing your decluttering journey. Choosing the right schedule for your lifestyle.
So you basically have two main paths to choose from here. And what's really cool is that you can match the method to your current energy levels. You've got the slow burn 52-week challenge or the fast-paced 30-day sprint. The 52-week challenge is amazing for folks dealing with deep systemic clutter. You dedicate an entire week to just the pantry and the next week to the guest bedroom. It's slow, it's steady. On the flip side, the 30-day challenge completely thrives on 15-minute daily victories. One day, you literally just clean out your wallet. The next, you just clear off the front of the fridge or delete old apps off your phone. Those quick, tiny wins generate massive momentum.
The crucial takeaway here? Consistency absolutely beats intensity. Just pick a rhythm that actually fits your busy life. Decluttering is not one size fits all, and you don't have to follow a rigid calendar perfectly. If you get a week behind, so what? Just pick it right back up. Professional organizers stress that it's all about making the process manageable so you don't burn out before you cross the finish line.
Section 3. The ruthless 50% rule. A fast tactic for cramped, overwhelmed spaces. Okay, sometimes you just have to be totally ruthless, and that is exactly where this magic number comes in. When a cabinet is so overflowing that you can't even grab a single plate without causing an avalanche, yeah, standard organizing just isn't going to cut it. You need a drastic reduction. Enter the 50% rule. This means taking every single thing out of that space, separating it into 2 piles, and letting half of it go immediately. Just boom, done. This strategy is completely brilliant because it bypasses that awful, paralyzing feeling where you overthink the value of every single item. Instead of agonizing over, 3 different spatulas, you just look at the pile and say, I'm keeping my absolute favorites, and the rest goes straight in the donation basket. It's incredibly freeing, and it instantly restores the functionality of that space. But, and this is a big but, while the 50% rule is a massive shortcut for things like old clothes and Tupperware, you definitely want to skip it for family heirlooms. You want to apply this to utility spaces, places like your closet, where you probably only wear a fraction of what you own anyway, or that kitchen cabinet hoarding way too many promotional coffee mugs. Do not use this blunt instrument on your deeply sentimental items or in spaces where you've already pared things down to the bare essentials. Section 4. Mastering microspaces, drawers. Bringing order to the smallest corners of your home. Let's zoom in a bit to a universal pain point. We all have one. The dreaded junk drawer. But these 3 golden rules will completely change how you view that drawer real estate. First, everything needs a home. Actually, scratch that. It needs a dedicated home. Use small boxes, clear bins, or dividers so batteries aren't just rolling around next to loose change. Second, if you can't see it, you won't use it. Things pushed to the dark back of a drawer essentially just cease to exist.
And third, if it's taking up space in the drawer, it needs to be an item you actually use. No broken pens, no expired coupons.
Now here is an absolute game changer for your dressers, the KonMari filing method. Instead of stacking shirts where the bottom ones completely disappear, file them vertically so they stand up. Every single item becomes visible and accessible at a glance. When you stack clothes traditionally, you naturally just wear the top 3 shirts on rotation, right? By adding an extra fold and standing them upright, your drawer suddenly becomes a visual menu of your wardrobe. And honestly, this works wonders not just for t-shirts, but for kitchen towels, washcloths, and even cloth napkins.
And here is a pro tip for you. The real secret is creating a system that your whole family can actually maintain. When you use those fantastic clear acrylic organizers in an office or bathroom drawer, just slap a neat little label right on the bottom inside the bin. So when a family member takes the scissors or the tape, the empty space clearly reads scissors or tape. It completely removes all the guesswork of putting things away. No more excuses.
Section 5. Keys to long-term success. Shifting from getting organized to staying organized.
Ever heard of the Ohio method? It stands for only handle it once. Instead of dropping your mail on the counter to sort later, process it immediately. The Ohio method is the absolute enemy of the dreaded doom pile. When you walk in the door, don't set your jacket on a chair to hang up later, just hang it up right then. Throw out the junk mail over the recycling bin before you even put your keys down. By handling items one single time, you are stopping clutter at the absolute source.
Another total lifesaver is the donation box habit. Setting up a permanent, accessible donation box removes the daily friction of getting rid of things. You shouldn't have to wait for some massive spring cleaning event to donate a sweater you don't like anymore. Keep a permanent box in your garage, mudroom, or closet. The very second you try something on and realize it doesn't fit, or you find a toy the kids have outgrown, drop it straight into that box. Then tie the drop-off to a habit you already have, like swinging by the thrift store every time you go for your weekly grocery run. To wrap things up, I want to leave you with this final, kind of provocative gut check to carry with you on your decluttering journey. Ask yourself, if you had to move today, would you pack this item, transport it, and unpack it in a brand new home? It really cuts through all the noise and the what-ifs, doesn't it? Imagine the time, energy, and expense of doing all that. Is it truly worth the effort? If the answer is no, it's time to let it go. Start small, be consistent, and enjoy the peace and freedom that comes with a beautifully organized space.